Alright, for this design right here, shouldn't be a motor or spring. There you go. Alright, so when we get into this one, first thing we look at is we go into mechanism. Underneath mechanism, there should be no cams or motors. There should also be no cam operation. So, I'm just cleaning this up because I just did it once to test it out. Alright, so first thing I would do is take everything off but points, leave points on, we'll delete them. And that looks pretty good for the design. Yeah, looks good. So, off of this operation, we need to build a cam operation. Cam is going to be this selected surface and then this surface. Be careful. Right here, you got to hit OK. Then the second operation is the smaller wheel that's red and touch it. Same operation to pull this menu up and say OK. Now it's built the two surfaces that are going to travel with each other. Over here you can put in lift off if you have to. You got friction load and smoothen the cam curves operation. Once you have that into place, the next thing what we need to do is we need to put in, you can test it out if you want to. You can go like this and just see what it looks like. So it's kind of cool how it follows it back and forth. But once you do that, I suggest to hit regen once. Now, next thing we want to do is put in a spring. Spring is going to go from this point, and then you can drag this other one and put it to that point. 0.01, and here 0.4. And then under options, adjust the diameter to 0.2. If you wish to see it, touch options again, and then touch the eyeglasses. That'll show you the spring, and then say OK. If you're wondering where you get those K factors and all of that stuff, you can get that off of McMaster, or you can go to Springs, CenturySprings.com, and they'll help you out too. They've got some really good catalogs. Now, once you've got this data in here, we're ready to go, and we can start our gear operation. So, first thing we want to do is we want to put in a servo, but be careful here. This is where it gets tricky. You don't want this box. You'll want that arrow right here. Not that straight arrow, but that curved arrow right up above it, the rotation of that axis. So touch right there. And then once you've got that rotation of the axis, we want to move to an angular velocity. And let's run at, I don't know, 360 degrees per second. Yeah, let's go 360 degrees per second. We'll run it at constant, and then just hit check and hit select there. Next thing we need to do a study on it, so we'll do a mechanism analysis. We'll run it with kinetic values. If you want to, you can also run it with dynamic values on the design. And we'll do length and rate, 10 seconds. Let's extend it to 15. And then say run. Off that, you get to see it run all the way through. Seems like it speeds up a little bit on the design. It's kind of crazy. Off of that, you say OK. And then come over to playback. On the playback, I usually get it close enough. And then right here on the design, we'll go ahead and run the playback. If this is not showing, then you can also search for it by opening it up. If you haven't saved it, it'd be a good idea to save it. So save it at this cam operation location. So if you ever have to get in there and grab it again, you can. So now just go ahead and run your play. It's analyzing all the way through real quick on it. So this might take a little bit of time. It's 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds. It's almost at 15, so it'll hit that. Once it's at 15, then what you can do is you can run a capture for it. Capture will create a nice little video for your design. So you can say OK, and it'll step through the design on there. Sometimes it gets kind of choppy. You see how you can't tell if it's flipping over or not. So you might change your FPS, frames per second, on that. So, but you can see it's about done with 150. So I'm going to try that again. So underneath capture, and I'm going to change it up to 50. Say OK. Still kind of choppy, but we'll see what it looks like at the end. You can see it takes a little bit less or a little bit longer on the design. Once you finish that up, go look at it inside the video. So there we go, we're finished, we've got the video. Here, the other thing you can do is you can adjust the speed factor on it. So that looks pretty good to the eye right there, and that might be better for the design. So I'll run that at 25, and hit check. Each time I'm doing these, I'm making a video. That's at 30, it's 50. So if I go over here and I look inside the folder and then inside the directory that I'm located at, you can see the video should be popping up here. I might have them popping up somewhere else. Let me see. Cam motion. So they're in cam motion, and that's where they're located at. So under my cam motion, there's my MPG. So if I double click on it, there it goes. So you can see the speed factor. If it's too fast or too slow, that'd be way too fast for the design. So off that, I'd want to bring it back, hit capture, and slow it. I'm going to slow it way down, see what happens. So frames per second, hit check, and let it run through there. Go over there and look at that folder and just wait for it to pop up. Best way to do it is go over and look at the date, time, what's happening on this. And then hit F5 on your keyboard. It's still fast. Let me delete out. Capture. I'm going to throw a Z. Make sure it's dropping into the correct folder. And capture. So once I've got that, there it is, the Z. So you sit there and wait back a little bit on it. It takes a little bit of time. You can see how bad it grows on the design. Pretty small. There, 1600. So it's not bad to send in the email. So there we go. So off of that, still moving a little bit too quick even when I slow it down. So what do I have to do? I would go over and I would take a look at the servo itself. So if I look inside here, find the servo's turning just a little bit too fast. So off of that, I would edit that servo, look at it, and slow it down for the velocity. So say 100. Hit check. And then go back into the mechanism design. Off of there, go ahead and run it. So now go back into the analyzation. There's two of them, and edit that analyzation. Say yes. So there it goes through. Now it's got a definition 2 for the playback, so play it back. Ooh, battery low. And there we go. So that'll be nice and slow enough for the design, for the animation. So capture it and let it go through. Being dynamic is what could be making a little bit faster than usual. So now come back over here, look at that. And there, got a nice slow video. People say, yeah, that looks good. Especially for the presentation, you got it moving out there on the website or anything like